Welcome, everyone, to the This Week I'm Into podcast. I'm your co-host, Pete Tyler. Later on the episode, we're going to have my friend from grad school and an absolute Halloween fanatic, Eleni Papastratakos, on to talk about Halloween. But currently, I am with my friend and co-host, Paul Imbrugulio. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm feeling sweet today, Hans.
Ooh, I like it. Sweet like candy.
Yay.
Well, Paul, I'm so excited for this one. I do love Halloween, but I feel like I always start the episode with like, hey, Paul, what is your experience with this thing? I don't want to do that this time.
Oh,
this time
on me.
I'm going to say, Paul, is candy corn good or bad?
Oh, that's... Wow, we're about to alienate some people.
Let's make lines right now.
I like candy corn.
Ooh, okay.
Guys,
why?
Hans just hung up.
Oh, sorry. I know. I just didn't realize you like wax. But tell me why do you like sugar wax?
I'll agree that I don't think they taste that good, but I don't know. They're fun looking. They don't taste like that bad. They must just be basically like sugar, like fondant. It's like how I think fondant must taste on cakes, which is also like not that good. But I like it. Like I don't want like more than a handful. But if someone had a little bowl out in their house for Halloween, like yeah, I'd eat some.
So
I do.
Yeah, okay. So fondant is used basically as decorations, right? It's made to look like something else. Which
it's like sugar, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, sugar, right? You can mold it, design it, but it is sugar. You can eat it. But like, that is also kind of the same with candy corn, right? It's like sugar molded to look like something else.
Yeah.
But it's also not good.
I mean, you're telling me you wouldn't eat it if I offered you some?
I'd probably eat it. I probably would.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. That's yeah, someone has a bowl in their house and how like a Halloween party. I'm gonna grab a couple. That's probably about it, and then I don't want any more. But I do like it. It's like a seasonal thing that you just like have to have. It's not like candy canes. If we do a Christmas episode, I absolutely love candy canes. I'll eat those all year. Candy corn, kind of specific to Halloween.
Okay, I'll 100% back you up on candy canes. Candy canes are delicious.
Yeah, and they're good for stabbing.
Whoa, it's so much detail. Save it for the Christmas episode, man. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We have to do Thanksgiving in between anyway, so
I'll have to find a controversial food. It's cranberry. What's the cranberry jam? No. What's the jam or cranberry sauce?
Cranberry sauce? Oh yeah, when you take it out of the can and it's molded like the can.
It goes,
Anyway,
sorry,
a lot of good Halloween and holiday content here. But I feel like there's so many things we could talk about here. Obviously, Halloween is a little different than the usual kinds of, passions or hobbies we tackle. I would call this kind of a rabbit hole episode, but we've done those before, so let's keep going with it. But one of the things I think we can jump into, I'll use candy cane as a little segue here, but what are your favorite Halloween candies, Paul?
Oh man, okay.
I already know number one.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. So
wait, before you say it, I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper, and then so everyone knows
that Hans knows me.
That I knew it.
I mean, I don't think this is a shock to anybody.
I know it's gonna be shocking.
So I'm sure that you know what my favorite candy is, Hans, and it's Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
Boom!
Congratulations.
That's gonna be backwards for everyone. For all the audio listeners, I did in fact guess that correctly, writing on my piece of paper in chicken scratch, but
I was just surprised that you spelled it right. So that's number one. Number two would be York peppermint patties.
Whoa, interesting pick. Okay.
Yeah. So side note, at a movie theater, I always get cold junior mints and a root beer. I like the mint chocolate combo. So butter chocolate first, mint chocolate second. After that,
interesting picks.
I don't know if I have a clear third. It might come to me as we talk and I'll butt in, but those are definitely 1, 2. Like
Okay.
if I was, so let's say you and I just went trick-or-treating. We're dumping all
Sure.
our candy on the floor. We're trading. Those are what I'm going for.
Yeah, I hear that. So when we go trick or treating this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I see the York peppermint patties, I'll make sure to grab those for you.
Yeah. Well, it's like a bargaining.
It's a bargaining chip, right?
Mm-hmm. Literally. Okay. Well, what are your favorites, Hans?
Okay, well, you brought up movie theater candy, so I just want to say something real quick because I could get alienated a lot for this. I love Raisinets, chocolate covered raisins.
As a movie theater candy?
Yeah, it's a movie theater candy. I literally don't eat them outside of the movie theater. Like,
I mean, I appreciate that, but
I don't even know if they exist
that's an
outside of the movie theater,
that's an interesting choice.
but I like those.
I feel like a lot of candy that exists in movie theaters only exist there. Milk duds, like the frozen ones. Are they milk duds?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never seen them anywhere but a movie theater.
those are bottom tier candies. I've seen them in Halloween stuff. They're bottom tier. They get caramely in your teeth, and then your teeth stick together, and they're not even that good. So, oh no, I'm also thinking of Whoppers. Those are horrible, also.
Oh, I like Whoppers.
No, dude, I think we have different opinions on candy, man.
I like that they kind of like dissolve.
How do you feel about the wax bottles? They're like, they're a classic, man. I'm gonna inquisitive look from Paul here. They're the wax bottle, and there's like sugar liquid inside of it, and so you bite off the top of the bottle, and then you drink what's inside.
I don't know.
No, you don't know those?
I don't know.
Oh, that was like a childhood treasure. If you got those during Halloween, I love those. I'm sure some will say that's a trash candy, but that was a goated candy for
It
me.
sounds weird, but
They're fun. They're
you
like
probably could have sold
they're
me
little
with candy
novelties.
cigarettes.
Okay. I would say for my favorite candies, Paul, I'm gonna go numero uno, Sour Patch watermelons. Those are fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep,
Yeah,
good call.
I will always go for that. Numero duo, I'm gonna go Kit Kats. Love Kit Kats. And I'll
a
say,
flavored Kit Kat or a regular Kit Kat?
oh yeah, let's get on this tangent because I love the flavored Kit Kats. Yeah,
Which one's your favorite?
matcha green tea Kit Kats, so good.
You
So
know what?
good.
I think I'm over it. I think I like the cookies and cream.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say I've had some good ones besides green tea. I've also had like milk tea. I don't know if you've ever had milk tea
Oh,
Kit
no, I
Kat,
haven't
but
had
it's
those.
also really good. And key lime pie. Love key lime pie
Hmm.
as a Kit Kat flavor, and also as a pie.
Yeah,
But I've
Kit
also
Kat's good
had-
variety.
Like I had like a birthday cake Kit Kat recently. It was not good, and I like birthday cake flavored things, but it was like just way too overly sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't taste like birthday cake. It tasted like the frosting on top of those like the grocery store sugar cookies.
It's not buttercream. Whoa. Sorry. I like those ones. The
Oh no!
cookies. Yeah. Those are like some of my favorite cookies. They're so, the texture of them, it's just like a perfect combination of
Oh my
to
gosh,
chewy.
Paul!
Yeah, we're really not vibing on this one, I think.
I hope this isn't the like start of the rift of the podcast here. That we
Yeah.
have complete opposite opinions on sweets.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. Back to our candy bartering. I think we would trick or treat really well together.
Yeah, that's a great
We
point.
don't overlap.
Yeah. That would be easy trades. Reese's for Kit Kats, and then
Yeah.
I'll give you my York peppermint patties. You give me your wax bottles, which is
If I do it
probably
this way.
not even gonna appear at
Yeah,
any
never-
point. So.
Okay.
That's funny. Paul, do you have any like particularly good memories or good costumes from growing up with Halloween?
Man, I don't know if I'm really a big costume guy. I'm sure I was really cute as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I could try to pull those out of the archives. I think I remember being like Tigger growing up or something.
Mm-hmm.
God, what were some of my better costumes? Normally I was just like a scary mask at a Halloween store with like a fake big plastic knife. Like I kind of just went like classic like Party City
Mm-hmm.
cheapo thing. But I don't think I trick-or-treated much past maybe like the 5th grade.
Like, yeah.
So I don't really remember much, to be honest with you.
So
And
spooky mask from, Spirit Halloween that pops up in the month of October and then mysteriously disappears. It comes back every year.
The one that I had was kind of cool. If you pressed a button, like fake blood would come down it.
Ooh, I remember those. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was cool.
Those were always really cool.
But I don't really recall much else.
I love that gimmick. I remember that gimmick in like elementary school, maybe middle school, and just thinking like, damn, that is so freaking cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Since then, I think the only ones that I can remember, my girlfriend and I, for the last 2 years, we did Curious George and the Man in the Yellow Hat one year. That's probably the best of the ones that we've done together.
Okay.
I was the monkey.
That is adorable couple's costume. Do you want to send me that picture for me to put on the Instagram?
No.
No, absolutely not.
I'll send you a better photo of us, but that one, the other one that happened that same year, because we like had 2 different outfits. The other one was not like a couple's costume, but she was Yoda and I was a man getting blown away in the wind. So I had like an umbrella upside down and like all my clothes were like pinned up so they looked like they're getting like blown past me. One of the costumes that we did the same year but wasn't as coordinated, I would describe as she was Yoda, classic, and I was a man getting blown away in the wind. So I had like an umbrella that was upside down, like all my clothes were like pinned in a way that it looked like they were like flying off behind me. It had a good premise. It didn't have the best execution, but I'll find that photo for you maybe.
So was she like Yoda, like giving you the force, and then you?
That's what I wanted. That's exactly the photo I tried to take, and then she was just like, "This is so stupid."
That's funny. I would say I have a couple from my childhood that stick out that I really was fond of. One year I went as Pac-Man, and basically what that meant, I was just a big yellow sphere. And like I was looking through the mouth of Pac-Man, but it was just walking around with a big yellow sphere around me, and I thought it was awesome. And then I could like tuck my body and almost all my legs into the sphere, so it looked like I was like only Pac-Man.
Just have no sense of how big you are, just running into shit.
Yes.
Nom nom nom.
I went as James Bond one year. Which really meant I just had a like white
suit,
a white tuxedo that I walked around in. But I don't know if that one really came off all that well, because people are like, oh, like you're like dressing fancy, or like, oh, you're the Great Gatsby. I'm like, no, I'm James Bond. This was in like 4th grade, so I was like upset.
You had a suit in the 4th grade?
I don't know if it wasn't like a real suit, but it was.
It's like a t-shirt tux.
It wasn't a t-shirt tux either. Thank you for your vote of confidence there, Paul.
That's cool. A suit in the 4th grade would have been epic.
And then the final one that I absolutely loved, this was probably my favorite costume I've ever had, I was a Venetian gondolier. I feel like that one was a really creative one. So
that is creative.
Yeah, I had the striped shirt, and then I had the straw hat with a red ribbon around it, and
a 12-foot pole.
Yeah, and carrying around my oar, and I feel like that one was probably the most creative I got with a Halloween costume growing up. I'm ashamed to say I've kind of lost that creativity, because in the 5 years, college plus after, I went as soccer player all 5 years.
Wow.
So
in Jersey probably too.
I wish I had done something more, because that is so lame. Like, I fully admit I'm lame for that. I was just like, I didn't put thought into it, just went a soccer player. So
you could go as a ghost and just put a bed sheet over you.
And then this past year, I didn't really do a lot for Halloween, because we were in Indianapolis, and listen to the marathon episode if you want to hear more about that. But I was just celebrating with all the people that I was running Indianapolis with. And we did like random costumes, like we matched up in pairs, and then we did costumes together. and I got matched up with my friend Carol, and we went as Pete Carroll, the Seattle Seahawks coach. So we both got the like Seahawks stuff, and I was wearing these headphones as if I was like, calling plays and stuff. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a funny one. Yeah.
And Hans and Carol going as Pete Carroll. Crazy.
Okay, but also I'm Pete and Carol. To make it make sense, it's not Hans Carroll, it's Pete Carroll. This like whole name thing is going to just curse me throughout this whole podcast.
When I get your friends to call you Hans, it's just such a win for me.
I know. And then they're like, oh wait, why did I do that? I'm like, I don't know, why did you do that? One more thing I want to touch on, Paul, is it's the spooky season, right? Time for spooky things. Are you an enjoyer of horror movies?
No, absolutely
not at all.
I get so scared. You know what it was? I'll tell you.
I'm listening.
I don't watch scary movies, and it's because in the 2nd or 3rd grade, I watched the Goosebumps movie about the ventriloquist dummy that came to life and started possessing the kids or something like that. Scared the shit out of me. I really still don't like ventriloquist dummies, but I'm kind of over that. But it like forever haunted me for those. Just generally like the dark. I just don't like scary movies anymore. I hate jump scares because I know they're gonna piss me off. I just don't understand the enjoyment of it.
Okay. Well, Paul, I'll take the opposite side. We're kind of divided this episode, huh?
Yeah, but it's scary. Like candy corn, fine. I get why people don't like it. Scary movies, that stuff, that just hurts me to my core.
I actually do love a good horror movie and a bad horror movie. I love a good horror movie and a bad horror movie.
I don't like a movie I can sometimes get about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because those aren't scary. Those are funny. Yeah, like the funny ones, like Zombieland. Like I can watch that.
Yeah. Or, for example, Jason 10. Do you know that one?
No, but that doesn't sound like Zombieland.
It's Friday the 13th. I mean, you're familiar with Friday the 13th, right?
In name only. I don't know what it's about.
Well, it's just like, okay, Friday the 13th, to put it like, to reduce it as far as I can. It's a psycho murderer who wears a hockey mask and kills.
Oh, the chainsaw guy. Yeah.
No, machete guy.
Oh, Machete.
He's famous for Machete, yeah.
Oh, my bad. See, I clearly don't know anything.
But both of them target teenagers living in a cabin in the woods. Or, summer camp, the cabin in the woods. But in the movie, Jason 10... it is this hockey mask machete killer, but he actually goes into space, into the International Space Station, and hunts like astronauts.
Okay.
It's so stupid, funny, good.
That one might be.
Yeah.
It's like Spaceball stupid. Like,
yeah. That gets me. So if anyone, if you're looking for a good horror movie, or sorry, a good bad horror movie, Jason 10.
Good.
Yes, actually, and I'll say this isn't not only my favorite horror movie, but this might be my favorite movie, period. Is Midsummer.
Is that the one that just came out?
No, it came out.
That's like Midsommar.
5 years ago. Yeah, Midsommar. Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Different. Okay.
I won't get too much into it, but it's like a Swedish holiday that goes wrong is like one way to put it. So I'll just leave it at that. You should definitely see it if you're into horror movies. It's very trippy. It's like very horror and thriller at the same time. So I think it's very good. Watch Midsummer.
I guess to be fair, I watched some of those Jordan Peele movies. I think you classify those as horror.
Like Get Out.
Yeah.
Us.
Us. Yeah. I've seen a couple of those. He has, 3 now? I think I've seen 2 of them. I thought those were okay. Mm-hmm. But I definitely am like one to close my eyes when I know it's going to be scary. So
I really liked Get Out. So, but that one was like, it's very thriller. There's definitely not like jump scares, right? It's more thriller.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Yeah. I'm definitely on board with that one, Paul. Okay, look at that. We found a commonality. we got one.
Hell yeah. That's what's spooky about this.
Paul, can I give you the elevator pitch for how Halloween came to be, what its history is?
Is this a Hans fun fact?
Sure. I mean, it's kind of a history tale, but
okay,
we'll call it.
We'll save the intro. We'll save the intro song.
Okay, good. Okay, history of Halloween. Like other holidays, it is an example of pagan traditions that have been messed with by Christians, adapted by Christians to get in the way of pagan celebrations, right? So if that doesn't make sense, then we'll get to it. But basically, Halloween has its origins in the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, or Samhain. Again, with the language stuff, like, I'm sorry, I don't speak Celtic, so Samhain. But anyway, it was like around November 1st, and it was believed that at that time there was kind of the thinnest barrier between the spiritual world and the material world, almost like Day of the Dead. And it was believed that spirits on this day could cross between the two worlds. So to protect themselves from the malevolent spirits, the Celts would light bonfires, and then they would wear costumes to kind of scare off the bad spirits, and they would leave offerings of food for the good spirits, basically. And then all of a sudden, so this is a pagan ritual by the Celts, and then Christianity comes around, kind of starts adapting to that, and Christianity calls November 1st, which was this day that the Celts celebrated, they called it All Saints' Day, or to be blessed is also to be known as hallowed. So this was All Hallows Day. So the day before was All Hallows Eve, which is where Halloween comes from. And they kind of still took the traditions from the Celts and partied and wore costumes and left out treats and all the such. Eventually, this all became a tradition, and then it was brought over to the New World in the United States, where the traditions are just grown and is now grown into things like trick-or-treating and carving jack-o'-lanterns and the stuff we know today. So there you go. There's a super brief history of Halloween. You can get so much more into that, but I'm just trying to give the basics here.
No, that's cool. There must be a lot of holidays that are pagan holidays turned regular.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Christmas is one too. Maybe we'll get to that during the Christmas episode.
Before you get to your next segment, Halloween Town, the movie, the Disney Channel movies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sorry, just want to throw that one out there.
I actually have no idea what that is. So.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll move on.
Okay, is it good or bad, or recommend? No.
I mean, they were good when I was a kid. I'm sure they're awful now, but just throwing it out there in the ether. Somebody will be like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
Someone listening is like, "Yes, Paul. Yes." Now, Paul, let me hit you with some fun facts.
With Hans's fun facts. Hans's fun facts.
Fun facts with Hans. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
perfect. Okay, Paul. We talked about it earlier. Gotta talk about it again. Candy corn was originally called chicken feed. Do you know that? Do you still want to eat it? Because it was originally called chicken feed.
I mean, doesn't chicken just eat corn, Hans?
Oh, wait, I didn't even put that together. That makes so much more sense. But anyway, it was sold by the Gullett's Confectionery Company.
The what? The Gullett's Confectionery?
I think so. The Gullett's. It used to have a rooster on front, and it was supposed to appeal to America's agricultural roots. And this recipe in the 1880s has gone largely unchanged. So you're just know that when you enjoy candy corn, you're eating chicken feed from the 1880s.
Hey, it probably doesn't have high fructose corn syrup in it.
Okay,
or
I added that to
other
the list.
or other preservatives.
Siri just added chicken feed to my grocery list. I didn't know she was listening to me.
I wonder what that means for her.
No, Siri, no. Okay. Anyway, We talked about Friday the 13th, so let me do Friday the 13th fun fact. So, enjoyers of Friday the 13th will know that the psycho killer Jason Voorhees, who wears the hockey mask and kills with a machete, famously is a drowned killer. That's his origin story. He drowned and now he takes revenge on the people that camp around his lake that he drowned in. So there is a lake in Crosby, Minnesota, where an expert diver, has put a real statue of Jason Voorhees at the bottom of the lake. It is 120 feet down, and you have to be an expert diver to get that far down to actually be able to see that statue.
There's so few people that'll ever find that. I just hope that at one point somebody like doesn't know it's there and just gets scared shitless.
It's just so like niche.
Yeah.
In all of eternity, there will be one person who dives down there not knowing that it exists. Maybe, we'll see. In infinite parallel universes, that happens, right?
Yeah, it just scares the fish at this point.
Paul, do you want to have a guess at what the most popular adult costume of 2023? I will say that the kids' costumes are always princesses and superheroes, like as far as it's been recorded. Those are always the most popular. But what do you think the most popular adult costume was last year?
Was that Netflix show big last year, or was it 2 years ago? The pink people in the green suits? The Korean one?
Oh, Squid Game. Yeah, that's a good guess, but I think that was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember what was big.
Great line of thinking, Paul, and I will let you know it does come from media, really popular media that year. Do you want a hint? It was combined with another movie. It was a phenomena of...
Oh, Barbie.
Yeah, it was Barbie. Yeah, Barbie was the most popular costume of last year. Good guess, Paul. Good lines of thinking, too.
It's always popular TV shows or movies. I feel like that's always what dominates.
One more funny one for you, because I don't get like this at all, but the tradition of bobbing for apples.
I've never done it. I thought that kind of felt like a state fair kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it definitely does. I've done it when I was little, but like, I don't.
Have you ever done donut on a string?
How does donut on a string work?
You hang a string off of something, and it has a donut. You tie like a donut through the hole, and then you you try to bite it.
Okay.
And obviously like it moves if you miss it. So you start like batting it away, or like you swing it. So it's kind of hard to catch in your mouth.
Okay.
I feel like it serves a similar purpose.
Okay. I dig that. I would be down to try donut on a string. I did not get bobbing for apples. Like, I don't know. It just did not make sense to me. But lo and behold, there's a historical tradition behind it. Bobbing for apples originated in Europe hundreds of years ago, and it had to do with romance. So it was a courting ritual kind of game. So basically, you would get a bucket of apples, and you would assign someone to each apple. And
Is
then
this like a swingers thing?
A maiden or lord, no, not swingers, would try to go and bite the apple of the person they were trying to court. If they got the apple out in one bite, then it was meant to be. It was destiny. If they missed the first bite but got the second bite, they were bound to be a fling, but they would fizzle out after a while. And if it took them 3 bites or more to get the apple, they were just doomed from the start. This relationship was not meant to be. So a lot of pressure riding on this bobbing for apples tradition.
It's like getting a greased pig. I can't imagine it's that easy.
Anyway, last fun fact for you, Paul. Had to shout it out because you know how much I love geography, right? Have I mentioned that before?
I don't think so. This might be the first time.
Anyway, shout out to the state in which I am living right now. Illinois produces twice as many pumpkins as any other state. So you can thank your jack-o'-lantern carving to the great state of Illinois.
I'll check my pumpkins to see where they come from. It's just like how all my potatoes come from Idaho.
Yeah, it should be. You should just look at the tag. It usually comes on the inside, and it should just
on the
say
inside of my pumpkin.
it should just say produced in Illinois. So check that out. Anyway, Paul, that's all the fun facts I have for you. Do you want to hit us with any Halloween resources?
Halloween Town. You can probably find it on Disney Plus.
Halloween Sound. Gotta watch it. All right, I'll put that one on my list. Gotta watch it.
I don't even think it's on Disney Plus. I don't know where you find it. I would say it's fun to go to a pumpkin patch. I'm a big fan of corn mazes.
Yes.
I'll go to one every year and I'll carve pumpkins. Actually, Hans, please remind me. We can post all my pumpkin carvings over the years. I've gotten really good at it.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great idea. I'll put it on Instagram.
Yeah. So I always, well, I'll be honest. I normally use a template because they're just better. But I've started painting them. Mm-hmm. So they look really good.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
That's kind of a new take on carving pumpkins. And I feel like I've been seeing that more and more is where you actually
paint
the pumpkin.
Yeah, they rot once you cut them, right?
Yeah.
So if you cut them too early, then it's better to just paint them. And they kind of look nice.
Any chance this year you get trick-or-treaters, Paul?
No, I live in an apartment, so I don't think they can even access, unfortunately. But I'll buy candy in case, and then I'll eat it. Me
neither. I do not think I'm getting trick-or-treaters this year, but I'll go ahead and binge on some Kit Kats while I'm waiting. Sounds good. I'll say watch Midsummer. It's a great movie. Unless you get spooked easily, then I probably wouldn't recommend it for you. Then watch Halloween Town. All right, Paul. Coming up, we have Eleni Papastratakos, who's going to talk about her traditions and her love for Halloween. And see you after the break.
Jump scare.
Welcome back, everybody. Now joining us, we have my friend from grad school, Eleni Papastratakos. Eleni, welcome.
Hi, Pete. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Just to begin, Eleni, would you mind just giving yourself a little introduction and what you're here to talk about today?
Yeah, that sounds good. So as Pete said, my name is Eleni. I know him from PT school at Northwestern. We're in our final year, so that's exciting. And I currently am in Minnesota for a clinical rotation. So calling from afar, and I'm here to talk about Halloween and all of its amazingness.
Eleni, I know you're a Halloween fanatic, but can you, in your own words, describe why you enjoy Halloween so much or what got you so into it?
Yeah, I think there's like a few different things that got me really into Halloween from a young age, and then it's just continued to grow as I've gotten older. The first thing is that my mom's birthday is on Halloween. So that's always been something that's kind of fun and special in our family, that we would celebrate her birthday and we would work and to celebrate Halloween at the same time. So that was always something fun. I think that was one reason that made a Halloween a big deal in our family, is because it was also her birthday. So from a young age. Yeah.
You hear about people that celebrate Christmas who also have their birthday on Christmas. You know, they always feel ripped off because it's like, oh, I got you one gift for two things.
Yeah.
How does your mom feel about sharing her birthday with Halloween?
She is just like, sometimes when you bring it up, she just is kind of like, oh yeah, it's okay. Like, she's kind of indifferent about it.
Okay.
But
it's a good reason to have a party on your birthday every year.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. I think growing up, she liked it. And then now as an adult, she likes it because she gets to see all the kids in the neighborhood dressing up. And she got to see us dressing up, growing up and stuff. So I think she's liked it throughout the years for various reasons, as long as everyone still remembers her birthday.
All right. Sorry, I interrupted your intro there, Eleni. I just was curious. Yeah, what else has gotten you into Halloween throughout the years?
Oh, yeah. I think, so there's, a lot of different things that kind of led to it. So my mom's birthday being a big thing. And then after that, every year for Halloween, since as little as I can remember, my dad would dress up with me. And so we would do like costumes that correlated with each other. And so like one year I was Mary Poppins and he was like a chimney sweep. And then one year I was Dorothy and he was like a scarecrow and things like that. Nice. And like he would go all out with his costumes. And so that was always really fun because it felt like something special that me and my dad got to do together.
Do you have a favorite costume that you've done together?
Yes, I think it would be the Mary Poppins costume, because I was in...
Maybe that was in the reel that I didn't get shown from Han.
Yes, wait, I'll show on my screen. So to all the listeners, I sent Pete a bunch of pictures of me from Halloween throughout the years to share with Paul, and he didn't. So I didn't have...
Do not have to call me out like that.
Include what you want. I couldn't... These are all just pictures I had on my phone, so I have more at home, so you can't see the costume the best. And my brother is... whatever he was in high school.
Oh,
but
that's adorable.
That was my Mary Poppins, and she has that umbrella.
Yeah, the little like peacock face.
Yes.
On the end, right?
Yeah, and so when I was younger, we went to New York. I think I was like 9 or 10, and we saw Mary Poppins on Broadway. And that was like a life-changing experience for me. At the end of the show, she like flies up into the crowd, and that was just like the coolest thing ever. And I was like, I'm being her for Halloween that year. And so my mom made my entire costume, which is also something that I thought was really cool. And she made that entire costume. She made me like Mary Poppins bag that has everything in it. And that was my trick or treat bag that year. And then that umbrella's from the Broadway show. So yeah, so I liked that costume a lot.
That is amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of thought went into that costume.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes my parents would like give me ideas when I was younger, and sometimes I would think of them. That was like a team effort to get that costume executed. And then we would go like trick-or-treating all around my neighborhood. And in my neighborhood, there was like tons, like every house had so many kids that were all like around the same age as me. So like the streets were just filled with kids dressed up in costumes, like running from house to house, which I thought was always super cool. Like kids would come to our neighborhood to trick-or-treat sometimes, just because it was like known to have just so many trick-or-treaters and everything. So
nice.
Cool neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think our neighborhood is the same anymore. My mom has been telling me through the years. There's been like less and less kids, but it used to be like a huge thing.
I wonder if it shifts with like what neighborhood has a bunch of kids, because I feel like it was where ours was near the elementary school, and I bet a lot of people just happen to live near it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like
where they congregate.
Exactly. And I feel like it goes through phases too. Like there was a wave of people that moved into that neighborhood and all had kids around the same time. And then now all those kids are older. And like some of those people are moving out of the neighborhood, some new families. So I think it like goes through phases, probably.
We would always target the rich neighborhood because they have the big size candy bars. But it's a fallacy. I stand by this.
Yeah.
Because yes, they're rich. Yes, they're handing out big candy bars, but their houses are far apart. So you gotta walk a mile to get to the next house. So you don't get that much candy.
Yes.
Anyway.
Exactly. You don't get as much candy. No, it's a big thing. It's like strategy. You have to strategize as a kid how you're going to go about your trick-or-treating to maximize what you can get.
Absolutely.
I feel like the king-size candy bar houses often failed after the first year too, because so many people would find out about it and then they'd be bankrupt.
Yes.
That's not how you stay rich, right?
No.
Those big candy bars.
I know.
No.
I can't imagine spending like hundreds of dollars on candy. But
no.
Some people do it, and bless those people. But some people, but that'd be tough to budget for.
Yeah. When you guys would walk up to like a house that would just have a bowl outside and it would say like, please take one. Would you guys take one or would you take more?
Man, I don't know if it's lame. I would only take one.
Yeah. Pete.
I mean, I don't know. His face is so red.
You're so guilty right now.
Hans is a bad boy.
I was hanging out with the bad kids. Like, it wasn't me. I swear it wasn't me. I didn't want to. They made me do it.
His bag was full.
But just somehow the whole thing was dipped. Yeah, I would take like 2, but then I'd feel really guilty about it. So
I just think that the people who do that tend to not have the best candy.
Yes. Or it was already sifted through.
Yeah, all the good stuff. Had you guys ever been given anything that wasn't candy?
Yes.
Thinking like
Yes.
I was given like oranges once.
Oh, interesting. No,
Which
I was
isn't the
never
worst
given
thing ever.
fruit. Yeah,
But definitely not what you want.
No.
that's a
I
kid.
mean, no
you're
one's
like,
giving me razor blades.
No.
that's a good point. Yeah, no shards of glass either.
No.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
You hear those things though. No, I've been given a toothbrush, like
Yeah,
with a
a
piece of
toothbrush.
candy, which is kind of like,
You're a local dentist.
yeah. And then, like those, did you guys have like those popcorn balls?
Oh, I actually do think I know what you're talking about.
Yes, it's like an individually wrapped like kettle corn ball. Those slapped.
Nope.
I loved those.
Sure. Are they? Is
Okay,
it like
have you ever
caramel corn?
Mhm.
Have you ever gotten a plastic bottle that you rip the top off and drink the insides?
On Halloween?
Hans, what's it called?
It's called a
he's
wax
saying it.
bottle. It's
No.
a type of candy. It has like sugar liquid inside and it's wax, and then you just bite the top off and then you drink the sugar liquid.
This is niche.
Are you kidding me?
I don't think I
I feel like I'm
had
getting
that.
gaslit here.
Yeah, not on Halloween. Not on Halloween. We weren't given that.
Okay, interesting. I just thought that was like common. Like that was a holy grail candy to me. Like if that was the best candy of the night.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Now,
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
Lenny, what is your Mount Rushmore of candies? Let's hear it. Halloween candies. What are you stoked to get in your trick-or-treating bag?
okay, so growing up was different than what it is now. But growing up, I would go crazy. This is going to be very controversial. And I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but I loved Almond Joys.
Oh, that is a weird one. That just seems uncommon.
Yeah. No.
Definitely Team Almond Joy.
Good.
But it is a
one
weird
That's the
one.
one with coconut, right?
Yes.
What's the difference
Yes.
between almond joys and mounds?
Mounds is,
Don't have the almond.
and it's
And
dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't like those.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like coconut's a weird taste for a kid to like. But I loved those. Loved like Snickers, Reese's.
Yes.
And then Gobstoppers. Would you guys get those?
Ooh, interesting. Okay. That's
Yeah.
one we haven't heard of yet.
Yeah, I loved Gobstoppers. I would like getting those warheads, but I wouldn't like want them. I wouldn't trade for them. But I liked getting the warheads to just like have a little warhead off with my friends that I went trick-or-treating with. So I only needed one of them. I wouldn't want to have a bunch of them. But like,
I remember the warheads that are just like full of like citric acid and just like taste horrible and
yes.
They're fun.
Yes.
Those match the ad.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. But like at the end of trick or treating, every year we would all go to one person's house and everyone would lay out, like empty their pillowcase or whatever bag it was, lay out everything, organize everything that you had all out, and then like trades started happening.
Oh yeah.
So
I kind of remember that as the best part of Halloween. That was like my favorite tradition, or like pseudo tradition. Never planned, but always happened.
yeah,
Just dump out your candy sack, organize into the different candies, and then it's like the New York Stock Exchange. There, like, you are traded fast.
That's exactly what it is. You guys both have siblings. Is your brother older or younger, Eleni?
he's older. I have an older brother and sister.
Okay, so maybe I'm the only one with a younger sibling. Did you guys ever get scammed then out of your candy? Because I definitely pulled some fast ones about getting good trade. Like, you know, I'll do like a 3-for-1 for the one that you like.
Yes.
Like you're really getting the good deal.
Yes. Or they would gaslight me into like thinking like, oh, give me 2 of those Reese's for like this one Snickers. And I'd be like, no. And then they would be like, oh no, but this is like a different kind of Snickers. Like this is really good. And it was just the same old Snickers, but they had a chokehold on me. They could tell me anything and I would do it.
They convinced you that left Twix is better than right Twix.
Exactly. That is essentially what they would do. I ended up actually having to hide a lot of my candy from my brother growing up.
Oh, really?
Because
stealing it?
Yes, he would just take it, and my candy pile would slowly start going down, and it was him that was stealing everything. So
I think mine was my dad.
Yeah.
I was only allowed like 20 pieces of candy from Halloween. Like the rest of it got taken away. Like, so after all this bargaining, like it would then get dwindled more by like the parent tax of like, hey, you can't have this much candy.
Yeah.
Simply, we can't allow that. Yeah.
Yeah. Did your guys' schools have like Halloween parties and like celebrations?
Yeah. I remember my elementary school. I really liked this tradition. Was we would start kind of a parade, starting with the first graders or the kindergartners. And so everyone would come to school dressed in their Halloween costume, and then the kindergartners would walk through the first graders' classroom, and the first graders would get to see all the costumes, and then the first graders would get back in line and make this big conga line through every single grade. I remember that being like really fun to like show off your costume like that. I really loved that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fun. Our school did something similar. We would do like a parade with all of the elementary school kids like through the halls. And then at my elementary school, there was this house right next to the elementary school with this like elderly couple. And they did this. So my siblings are like a lot older than me, like 10 years older than me, 8 years older than me. And so when they went there, this house was there with this couple. And before them, it was there too. And they would always have, I have a picture of this as well that I'll show you. But so they would have the pumpkin man outside their house, which was like a scarecrow, I guess, like a stuffed scarecrow thing of it. And they would have like a speaker in there, and someone far away that you couldn't see would be like talking through the microphone, so it was like the scarecrow was talking, and then the couple would be sitting on their porch like right by the pumpkin man and would be handing out candy. So that was a fun tradition. And then we'd go back to the classroom, and there was games and more candy and food to share and everything. I don't think they do that as much anymore now, but yeah.
What kind of things was the pumpkin man saying? Just curious. Was he like trying to scare the kids, or was it more like, I don't know, you go ahead.
It was kind of both. Like, he wouldn't like actually scare us, but he would like comment on our costumes. Like in this one, I was like Hermione Granger, so he would talk like about Harry Potter things like when I walked up, and everyone would be like, how does he know? Because we were like, where is this? It was literally someone inside the house right there. But it was so fun as a kid. And that was something special too that I think like made Halloween a fun thing growing up.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fun tradition. How have your traditions like changed over the years?
Yeah, that's a good question. I was actually trying to think, like, when did I stop trick-or-treating?
Sad day. It comes for all of us, but it's a sad day.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like the last time, I don't remember how old I was. I feel like it was like in middle school at some time, and I like went trick-or-treating with my friends, and I remember afterwards we were like, I think we're too old to do this. Like, I think we should stop.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
I think that was 12 for me.
Yeah.
The last time. And that was I didn't even really want to go do it in the first place. And I was like, yeah, this was not the right call.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I think, like around like in middle school sometime, like 6th grade. I don't think 7th grade, but I can't remember when it was, but in middle school sometime. Mm-hmm. But then we would still have like the activity night at school, so everyone would still dress up for that. But we wouldn't dress up to go trick-or-treating anymore. So then, like in elementary school, was dressing up, trick-or-treating. Then like transitioning in middle school is going to the activity nights and dressing up. And usually like going to a friend's house before and after to like watch Halloween movies and do Halloween activities and stuff. And then in high school, I feel like it was a lot of just Halloween parties. And then me and my friends would also, I don't know if you guys have heard of this. It's famous in Illinois. It's called the Richardson Corn Maze.
I was just telling Hans I love corn mazes. I gotta find a famous one near me.
Yes, you should. Corn mazes are so fun. And they always have like good apple cider at them too, and little donuts. Yeah, you gotta go.
Nice.
But this one, every year they make it into something new. I'll see if I can quickly find what it is.
Like the maze is different.
They make it into different things every year, which is so fun. And in the winter, it's a Christmas tree farm. I don't know. It says it's the world's largest corn maze, but I don't know who determines that. But it's I mean, it's like famous in Illinois.
Are corn mazes big outside of the U.S.? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that's fair. If you're America's biggest, you're probably the world's biggest.
That's fair. Okay, wait. So this year they did. It must be like something big with John Deere, like the tractors, because it says nothing runs like a deer, and this is the corn maze this year.
Oh my God, that's huge.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So maybe it is the world's largest.
I mean, it just looks so intricate that it has to be pretty big.
Yeah.
Just to describe this in case, I'll try to post that on the Instagram, but in case you don't see, it is an aerial view of a corn maze that is absolutely huge, and then the maze itself is cut out in a way that it's a picture of a John Deere tractor and the slogan "Nothing runs like a deer," and it has the John Deere like face in it too, with pretty good detail.
Yeah.
So like this is
I couldn't draw that well.
This is like crazy how large and how detailed that maze is.
Yeah. And so they've done like really cool ones throughout the years of just like tributes to different things that have been happening. So I have no idea what's going on with John Deere, but they must have done that with him or that company for whatever reason. And so
sponsors.
Yes, maybe. But so they would do that. Like we would do that in high school a lot, either with my family or with friends. And they also have like a pumpkin patch there and all of the fall things. And so that was always really fun. And then we also had Six Flags by us. Mm-hmm. I also don't know, is Six Flags around the U.S.? Does everyone know what that is?
I think so.
Okay.
At least I feel
like an amusement park. It's an amusement park for anyone that doesn't know. And so they have Fright Fest. So I went to that almost every year in high school too, which was fun.
What is Fright Fest? Like, what does that mean?
So for Fright Fest, they transformed the whole amusement park to be like really eerie and Halloween themed. And they also have like actors and characters that are meant to scare you throughout the entire amusement park. And it's like really creepy, and it's scary. Like having all those people, they like jump out at you or they follow you for like very long periods of time because they know that it's creepy and weird. But it's like part of the theme. And then they have a haunted house, but I don't think I ever went in the haunted house because I was scared.
I think Universal does something similar.
Yeah.
They're really fun if you've never done a Hans. I recommend that.
I've done a haunted house before. I think I did a haunted house with you, Paul, right? In Charlottesville?
Yeah. We've done a couple in Charlottesville.
Yeah. But I don't think I've ever done a amusement park themed one, or like amusement park haunted house. But I mean, I would do it. Are you guys pro haunted house? I kind of like them.
I like them.
I don't know if I particularly seek them out, but if someone in a friend group was like, we should do it, I'd be like, okay, I'll come along.
I think I'm the same way. Like, I think they're really cool and really fun, but I don't think I'd be the person that's like, we're going to a haunted house. Mm-hmm. But I'll go if someone wants to go.
I don't know if they still do it here, but I remember going to one in Seattle at a radio station, like really freaking scary. I mean, when I was 13, and the only thing that I remember is like the last bit of it, other than the fact that I was just like screaming the entire time. So like, awful with jump scares. The very end of it, you kind of like walk through these two like inflatable walls, so you kind of like are squeezing through this thing, and then you end up in this pitch black hallway with a guy chasing you with a chainsaw, like an actual dude who has like, obviously there's no blades on the chainsaw. I think I didn't turn around to find out, but you start hearing it getting red behind you, and you just see the light at the end of the tunnel, and you just start booking it, and you just see this like clown of the chainsaw coming after you. Definitely one of the scariest things I've ever been into for a haunted house, but it was super fun.
Yeah.
I have also a bad haunted house experience where someone jumped out at me, and like this was full like fight or flight. Like I was not realizing what I was doing, but he jumped out at me and I pushed him down.
Oh my God.
And then it was just like a reaction. Like it was not on purpose. And then I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm so sorry. And then I just turned and ran. I was like, I still think about that. I feel bad about that. Like this guy was just probably a actor, not like, he was just trying to make a buck over Halloween. I just fully pushed this guy. I feel so bad about that, but.
Oh my God, that's funny. I think the only like little sus thing I have about haunted houses is like when you have to sign a waiver before you go into them sometimes. And I'm like, that's a little unsettling.
I think that's how you know they're going to be good.
Yes.
I think the alternative is it's just like high schoolers in an open field who don't care enough. Once you get to the waiver level, like there was something legal that happened that caused them to have a waiver, and so you know it's scary as shit.
Yeah.
That's when the chainsaws have blades on them.
Yeah. That's when you know that you should be on edge, ready to fight or flight.
If the chainsaw has blades, I think I'm out. I think that is my line. I think that's just is too much for me.
I don't know. I think it'd be worth an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hans, dive in.
I don't know. Okay. Look, I hear you.
Watch a scary movie.
Yeah, Paul.
I say that to Hans, even though I will not watch any horror movies.
Oh, yeah. So you don't like any scary movies?
No.
No.
I don't like them at all.
Do you like any scary movies, Pete?
I love, horror movies. I do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are Halloween movies part of your Halloween tradition?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, I just love movies in general. And so like I love when Halloween comes. I think going back to a question earlier that you asked, like, how have my traditions changed? I think that's something that's changed is that like I make it such a priority now to make sure that I watch like Halloween movies, and that like I get to do like pumpkin carving, which I haven't done yet. And that I get to do like fun Halloween things, because I feel like growing up, those were all done like at school or like organized for me in some fashion. So now those are all things I make sure I still do. But Halloween movies, yes, I love Halloween movies. My favorite one is Hocus Pocus. Have either of you seen that one?
It sounds familiar, but I can't place it.
No.
That's where I'm at too. Uh-oh.
It's about
like a kids movie.
Research?
Yes. Yeah, it's like it's a kids movie about like the Sanderson sisters who were in the witch trials. No.
Damn, sorry.
And someone awakens them.
Giant blanks. Sorry, Eleni. Yeah.
Everyone's homework. Go watch Hocus Pocus.
All right, me and Paul.
What the heck? You guys don't know it? That's a classic. Oh my gosh.
So sorry.
No, it's okay. But I love
That's
them.
not a scary one though, right?
No.
It's a kids movie.
Yeah. It's a Halloween appreciator movie.
Okay. I'll put that on the homework list before October 31 hits.
Yes.
Well, you'll have to go onto like the TV channels that do like 31 days of Halloween movies. I'm sure it's on there.
Yeah.
I'm sure to pop up. Yeah. How about scary movies, Eleni?
Yeah.
Any fan of scary movies or any ones you like in particular?
Yeah, I like scary movies. I will not watch them by myself. That is the only thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I will suggest to watch a scary movie sometimes, but I have to be with other people. I can't watch it by myself. I like the movie It.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
I like the movie The Conjuring. That one's crazy, but I like that one. What's that other one? Insidious?
Yeah, Insidious.
Yeah, all of the Insidious.
Scary movies, yeah.
Those are, I think, my top scary movies. When I was younger, Beetlejuice scared me. I know that's not a scary movie. Yeah, that's coming out this year. I think that's going to be a popular costume this year is Beetlejuice, because they're coming out with a remake this year. I think a lot of people are going to be dressed up as characters from Beetlejuice this year.
Well, it kind of reminds me, because Beetlejuice's outfit kind of reminds me of what's that actress? Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday.
Yes.
I feel like they're kind of similar, so I feel like people can confuse that too.
Yes.
That's funny you say that. I think she's in the new Beetlejuice also.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Okay. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of Beetlejuice costumes. I was telling this to Paul earlier, but I think you're totally right, Eleni, that like media has such an effect on like what people dress up as. Last year, Barbie was the most popular costume.
Yes.
Everyone was dressing up as Barbie. I thought, like, yeah, that actually makes sense. So I look forward to seeing the Beetlejuice costumes or whatever else is big right now.
Yeah, I feel like Beetlejuice, Inside Out for kids. I think a lot of people are going to be the different emotions from that.
That would be so cute.
Yeah, I think so too. And then I think, the movie Wicked comes out this year. Like, so Wicked is a musical that's really famous, kind of like the prequel to how The Wizard of Oz came to be. And that movie comes out in November this year. So if that's not a popular costume this year, I think it will be next year. Because I think that's
too early though. Like it's got to be like right before.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I don't know, but I think a lot of people like Wicked. So I think that it could be something that is popular. But I also think, do you guys know from the Olympics that breakdancer Ray Gun?
Yeah.
I think
this is not the first time she's come up on the podcast either.
That's funny. Shout out Reagan. I think that's going to be a Halloween costume too that people do. Because it was such a meme for like a good portion of the Olympics.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. And then like famous pop stars, like I think Sabrina Carpenter, a lot of people are going to dress up as her.
Or the other girl.
Isn't that also
Jenna Ortega? That's what I was thinking.
The other pop star, Chapel Roan. She's got to be.
Yeah. Oh, I think a lot of people.
That's like a really intense costume too.
Yes.
Right? Because that's full drag, I'm pretty sure.
Yes. Yeah. I think a lot of people will also dress up as her. That was a good one. Yeah.
Eleni, I'm wondering, what is your current October 31st plans? Like, what are you aiming for movie-wise? Are you handing out candy? Are you doing a party?
Just looking for an invitation.
Can I be invited?
Always can be invited. But if you want to drive to Minnesota. But I think, so this year on Halloween, it's on a Thursday. So I'll work during the day. And then I'm going to wear my Halloween socks to work. Because we can't dress up, though. We have to wear our scrubs. And then I asked... I am going to come back to my Airbnb, and the people that I'm renting from, so I'm renting out like the basement apartment. So there's people that live above me that I'm renting from. And those people that I'm renting from told me that I could hand out candy with them. So nice. I'm going to be handing out candy with them. And then I think the weekend before, I'm going to be going up to Minneapolis. A friend from undergrad lives there. It's like an hour and a half from here. And I'm going to be going up there to go to one of their friends' Halloween parties and then go out to some bars afterwards.
Very nice. Okay. You get a mixture of the party and the wholesomeness.
Yes, exactly. And each week I'm going to be watching a new movie. Not a new movie, but a different movie.
Ooh.
So
okay. Do you have that planned out, or is that more of a on the go kind of thing?
Well, on the go for which day it happens, but it's a thing that each week it's going to happen during the week. So last week with some of the people that are on the rotation with me, we watched Monster House, which I actually don't think... I
remember that one.
Yeah, I don't think I'd watched it since I was like a child, but it was fun.
I remember it being really scary for a kid's movie, actually. I remember like being actually scared by it. So maybe that was just me. I'm getting some looks from Paul, so...
It's probably... different watching it now.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say, because we all said the same thing. We were like, this was so scary as a kid, and watching it now, I was like, I feel like any of us could have come up with that idea, but it was still really good, and I feel like it was like nostalgic to watch it almost. Yeah. But I can see as a kid how that would be like unsettling to watch a house eating people.
Yeah. Yeah, when you put it like that,
Yeah.
that is unsettling. That's unsettling to me right now. So.
Maybe you'd still find it scary.
Yeah. Eleni, do you have any particular like fond memories of Halloween growing up throughout the years?
Yeah, I think like in general, kind of what I had talked about earlier, just about the memories of dressing up with my dad and doing those trick-or-treating like
Definitely.
adventures. But then in college, me and a group of my girlfriends, our junior and senior year, there was multiple friend groups in this. So there was like probably, I think around 25 to 30 of us total. And each year for one of the like days of Halloween weekend, we did a huge group costume where we all dressed up as the same thing. And our junior and senior year, we made it on fifth year, both years.
What is that?
Like a big Instagram account that's connected to Barstool, like Barstool Sports. And so I'm going to show these pictures. So our junior year, this was really creepy. We were all Ronald McDonald.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that would freak me out.
So there was approximately 25 girls dressed up as Ronald McDonald's with the red wigs, white face paint, red lips, striped, like everything. Like we went all out for it. And watching us walk down the street was like actually like, if I wasn't part of us, I would have thought that was really weird. And like, it was like really creepy. But it was so fun to do. I love, like, group costumes are so fun, I think.
Yeah, especially if you get 25 people to commit to Ronald McDonald. Like, that's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah.
I not Halloween, but we're, not in Charleston. We're in Savannah, Georgia. And there was this bachelorette party, and all these girls who, were probably like mid-20s were dressed up as old ladies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's like all old wigs. I swear one of them was like in like a diaper, like over her clothes. Just like...
That's awesome. I love it when people go full out for costumes. It just makes it better. Like if everyone does it, then it's more fun. And like on all of our wrists, we had numbers. So you knew like which number Ronald you were. I was number 19.
In case you got lost.
Yeah.
Ronald 19.
All right, count off. Where's Ronald 19?
Yeah.
So that's junior year.
Yes.
Does it get crazier?
Senior year is like my favorite. I had a series of costumes for Halloween weekend, and that was my favorite year of costumes. So the first night, so I had 3 costumes for senior year. The first night I was Dobby from Harry Potter. And so I basically got a like a body pillowcase that I cut the bottom off, and then I cut holes for my arm and my head. And then I got a bald cap. And I cut, so the parts of that pillowcase that I had cut off to make like a dress kind of, I made 2 little ears that I just taped onto the side of the bald cap. And I was Dobby, and I carried around a sock with me as a koozie for the whole night. And I think is like my favorite costume that I've ever done. All my friends dressed up in like such cute costumes. Like one of my friends was Cinderella. One of my friends was a character from Peaky Blinders. Another one was Phoebe from Friends, a cat. And I was Dobby. So, but you could see all of my friends in the back 2 rows are so cute. And then I was just right in the front is Dobby.
Yeah.
Fine.
Just to describe this a little, there's a picture of a group that everyone's wearing costumes, and Eleni is front and center in the Dobby costume. It looks great.
Thanks. So that was the first night of senior year. the next night of senior year, I lived in a house with 6 girls total, so 5 roommates. And we all were different holidays. So we all picked a holiday to dress up as. And so I was Christmas. So I wore like a green dress, like a Christmas tree, and put like garland around me and had like a little Christmas tree hat thing. And then one of my other roommates was New Year's, so she dressed up in like sequins with a New Year's hat. Another one of my friends was Valentine's Day, so she wore like a red top and then a headpiece that had all these hearts coming out of it. Another one of my friends was President's Day, so she dressed up as Abe Lincoln.
That seems like the odd man out, but I absolutely dig that. I love that.
Yeah, she's from Springfield, Illinois, so she was like, I have to be Abe Lincoln.
Nice.
Another friend was the Easter Bunny, so for Easter. And then the other one was the 4th of July, and she wore a fireworks director shirt. And then during the day drink, that year was the big one. And we, all 25 of us that were Ronald McDonald, we were all Shrek. And we all painted our...
Oh my God.
Yeah, we all painted our faces green. But side note, there was some drama with it because there were 2 different types of face paint that were bought, and one of the face paints found out afterwards was like staining some of the girls' faces. So for like the next few days they had like a yellow tint to them because like the green didn't fully come off.
Oh no, Shrek got John.
Yeah, that's essentially what it looked like. And so we all wore like brown pants of some sort we all ordered the same shirt of Shrek. It was just some random Shrek shirt online that we all got like size XXL. Then we wore a brown belt around the belly. Some of us chose to stuff our stomachs. Some of us didn't. I put a couch cushion in my stomach to fully embody Shrek. And then we all got bald caps that we also painted green. And then we got his little ears. And this one wasn't scary. This was fun, and everyone loved it on campus.
Oh, man, that's so
awesome. Yeah.
And so that was so fun.
Okay, so you got like 25 girls dressed as Shrek. They're in a V formation. They're all facing the camera, crossing the arms, looking like badass Shreks.
Yes. And we had numbers so you knew what number Shrek you were.
Oh, okay.
As we did Ronald McDonald.
That year. Were you 19 again?
No, 23.
23, Shrek 23, okay.
Shrek 23, coming in.
All right, Eleni, obviously this podcast is a little bit about jumping into a new hobby, a new passion every week. I would, Halloween's not necessarily a hobby, but it's definitely something you can jump into, something you can enjoy a lot. So what is your kind of elevator pitch for why someone should just dive headfirst into Halloween?
I think that someone should just choose to go all in the Halloween season in the spirit of spooky by just embracing it and having fun with it. And the more into it you get, I feel like the more fun it is. So with your Halloween costumes, go all out. Get a group to do something if you don't want to do something by yourself. And watch all the movies. They're nostalgic from when you're younger. Or you could watch a scary movie if that's what you want. I feel like it appeals to a lot of different people. And I feel like it's also the one night a year where you can be whoever or whatever you want to be, and you won't necessarily be judged for it within limits. And I love everything that has to do with Halloween. I also love fall. Maybe that's part of the reason why I like Halloween so much. But I love the pumpkin carving. I love the corn mazes, trick-or-treating, dressing up, all the movies. I love candy corn. The pumpkin kind, though.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I like the pumpkin kind. Like, I'll buy the pumpkin kind, but I won't buy the normal candy corn. But yeah, I don't know. I just think there's a lot of different reasons to like Halloween. And I don't understand when people don't like Halloween, like Pete. I remember I had to kind of force you to dress up our first year at PT school.
Yeah, that's true. I did.
Was he a soccer player?
Almost certainly. I went Paul knows this, Eleni might know this, but I did go as soccer player 5 years in a row. So, but I'm in now. Let's commit. Let's head first into Halloween. That's how you get the most out of it.
Yes, good. Okay, I'm glad because in our first year, Paul, we dressed up. Me, Pete, and a few of our other friends in PT school. We have a big Halloween costume contest. And at school, and we dressed up as a TheraBand. So we all dressed up in kind of like heavy metal rock band clothes, but I don't know if you've ever had physical therapy, but you wear or exercise with resistance bands. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones that we use in PT are called TheraBands because they're for therapy. And so we were the TheraBand. Like a rock band.
Oh, I get it.
It's such a niche joke.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how kind of cringy that was until I had to explain that.
Paul's audio must be cutting out from how hard he's laughing.
I'm sure that played over well with your audience.
It did. I actually would say it did. Yeah. People love TheraBand.
Yes, it was good. And you should have Pete send you a picture of it because he's wearing one of my leopard bodysuits.
That's so true.
Right. I'm sure Hans won't let that happen. Hans let me into his childhood home. I just took photos of all of Hans. I took photos of Hans as a kid.
Yes.
So I could have it to share with other people.
Okay.
We also did that when we went to his childhood home this past year. And then last year for Halloween weekend, a group of us ran a marathon, which was fun.
Yes.
And then we paired up. We had a random generator before we left for the marathon, pair us up. And then we did duo costumes when we came back to the Airbnb that night. And that was fun. And Pete dressed up for that. So he's getting into it.
What was yours? Hans told me his earlier. What was your costume?
Me and my partner, Eddie, he was a sheet of paper, and I was a pencil. So I got a yellow velvet tracksuit, and then I made a pencil tip hat out of construction paper, and I wore pink socks as the eraser.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to be this year, though. So if anyone has any ideas.
Well, you got a couple weeks to figure it out. So.
Yeah.
Eleni, do you have any plugs, either personal or any pieces of media you want to shout out?
I don't really follow a lot of Halloween people or blogs about Halloween.
Yeah.
But I will say my TikTok For You page has been a ton of people sharing costumes from previous years and ideas, inspiration for future costumes, which I think is really fun. So I like seeing that, but I don't have any specific accounts that I really listen to or anything.
Well,
that's
just
how I
watch Hocus Pocus.
Yeah. Watch Hocus Pocus. Halloween Town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was Paul's.
Somebody knows it.
Okay. All right.
Do you not know it, Pete?
No, that's new to me.
Oh my gosh. Halloween Town is probably my second favorite Halloween movie.
Apparently, I need to catch up on childhood Halloween movies. So
yes.
That'll be my homework. Yeah. Anyway, Eleni, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yes. Thank you guys very much for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, definitely. And if you can't find a costume, you can always just go as Ronald 19 again. So.
Yeah, bring it back. Oh, awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the This Week I'm Into podcast. And a huge thank you to Eleni Papastratakos for sharing her passion on Halloween. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for the next episode, please reach out at thisweekiminto@gmail.com. And please give us a follow on Instagram at thisweekiminto. Please rate us 5 stars and share this episode with a friend. We're doing our best to grow the podcast, and your help really goes a long way. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next one. Paul, I can't believe we're still having this argument. Candy corn is disgusting. It's like chewing on sugary crayons.
Disgusting? Hans, it's literally the taste of Halloween. Little bites of sweet, nostalgic, stale perfection.
Nostalgic? For what? The dentist? If I wanted to eat wax, I'd raid a candle store or maybe my ear.
Ew, dude. And no, you have no appreciation for tradition, Hans. Candy corn is a Halloween staple. It's what ties the holiday together.
Yeah, it ties it together like a bad sweater. It's the candy you leave in the bowl hoping someone else suffers through it.
Fine. You know what? I've had enough of this candy corn slander. That's why I'm starting candy corn counseling.
Candy corn counseling?
Hey folks, introducing this week's sponsor, Candy Corn Counseling. We'll help people like Hans to learn to appreciate candy corn through deep meditation, taste tests, and even a few emotional breakthroughs.
Breakthroughs? That just sounds like you're going to force me to eat candy corn until I like it.
Whether you like it or not, you'll be eating candy corn by the end of session 1, guaranteed.
Not a chance. I'll take my Kit Kats and call it a day.
Maybe candy corn flavored Kit Kats. Whatever, Hans. One day you'll realize candy corn is the true hero of Halloween candy.
And one day you'll realize you're eating candle wax. It's just science.
We'll see. Candy Corn Counseling is ready whenever you are.